I worked for about 30 years in sales and marketing and mostly publishing. I come from New York. I'm a city girl. And at the age of 50, I had kind of a forced retirement. I had to close down the department that I had been running for 10 years with a local publishing company here in Florida. And I decided the next thing I did was something for me, something that I really loved. And I had written a small cookbook with my sister, a family cookbook. And my mother was an awesome cook. She never put a bad meal on the table, ever, ever, ever. She would just stay with it until it tasted great. And so my sister and I were both inspired by her. My cousins were not cooks. No one in the family really cooked other than my sister, myself, and my mom. So we thought we'd put a cookbook together because we had no recipes for the next generation, and we called it Manja Mama. And it's devoted to my mother, actually to both my parents because they were really special, and the food side of it is for my mom. And my sister at the time was suffering from ovarian cancer, and she was dying. So I really wanted to get on it and get this book out because it's something that was so dear to her heart. And she is an awesome cook as well, and just, such a big part of our family life. And so we put the book together, and before I knew it, people started calling me about it and wanting to order 20 and 30 and 40. And I kind of first thought it would just be for my family. And then I second thought, well, maybe it'd just be for Italian American families in the New York City area, because that's the kind of food we cooked. And it seemed like we related to people like that. And then people started shipping it to their friends and family all over the country, and people started calling me for the cookbook. So when I retired, I thought, I'm going to do something with this book. I'm going to go around and talk to people in the community and see if I could sell it at the markets where I shop and whatever. So my first stop was at a cook shop. It was a beautiful cook shop in the area, and they did cooking classes there. So I brought the book in, and she said, I'd be happy to sell it here. And by the way, would you like to do a cooking class? So I said, cooking class, who would want to see me cook? So she said, no, I'll put it on the internet, and if we get any excitement, I'll call you. So she put it on. She called me 10 minutes later and said, I booked the whole night for your cooking class. I was like, are you kidding me? Just so happened someone was looking for Italian that week. So I went in and I did recipes from my cookbook, and I just loved it. I said, I never felt real comfortable talking in front of people, but I kind of call it the power of the kitchen counter. As soon as I stand behind the counter, I'm perfect. It's really easy. So I did my dinner that evening, and at the end of it, the people stood up and applauded. And so on my way home, I called my husband and said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start like a cooking school, a cook shop. I'm going to do something like that because I feel like a rock star. I am so there now. So I knew what I was going to do. So I called my friend who was a realtor, and she told me about this space because I really wanted it to be homey. I wanted it to be like an extension of me and my home. And so she said, oh, I know a perfect spot. There was a linen shop here. At one time there was a bank, then it was a linen shop, and the linen shop was moving. So she said, I know that's a perfect spot where the linen shop was. Let's go talk to the landlord. So long story short, we started doing it. I did the build out. It's very much like my home kitchen. It's been great. It's just been more than I would have ever expected. I feel like I should have done this 25 years ago when I had more energy. Not that I don't have energy now, but I think it's probably going to come to a halt soon. But it has given me energy. And I have the best people here working with me. Chef Joe has been awesome. He's a professional chef for 30 years, an instructor, he's just fabulous, and he's taught me so much. And I think even I've taught him a few things, which has really been pretty incredible, just like the simplicity of Italian food and, 5-ingredient type cooking, which I love to do. I say I like to people say, what do you specialize in? And rather than saying Italian, I think we specialize in real food, just food that's not processed, food that our parents and our grandparents cooked and ate and shared and enjoyed. So that's the focus of In the Kitchen. And when I first opened this shop, my girlfriends, and it's like the girl power is so important to me. And even though I have some guy power too here, but my girlfriends all came in. I got my CO on a Thursday, and Saturday there was a big festival in town, so I wanted to open that Saturday. There was nothing in this shop. I mean, it was painted and the kitchen was here, but we had nothing else. So my girlfriends came. They all came in, cleaned, stocked shelves, did everything, learned how to make learned how to do the computer, made cappuccino, learned how to do all that stuff so we could have a big grand opening party with people here baking and passing out cappuccinos and doing all sorts of things. It was really awesome. It was the best day. And I knew at that point that it was going to be great, and it was. So 5 years into it, it has changed. We first carried lots of cookware. It was kind of a small Williams-Sonoma, people would say. But at this point, I have very little retail business because most of my time and effort goes towards cooking because that's what I love and that's what people love. And I thought you'd go get it. And that's what people want from us, and that's really where it's at. It was like running two separate businesses, so I'm kind of getting away from that and just really focusing on the food. And it's just been great. It's just been great.